Pick a piece of paper, any page.
Letting me look, mate.
Here comes another audience question. I'll read it out.
I can't see that.
This is from Kevin Herman. Where's Kevin? In the room? Kevin Herman. No outtakes from the movie Flame have ever been seen. Brackets, they were probably thrown away on the cutting room floor. Brackets, closed. Would there have been any funny outtakes, though, if we had seen them? The movie Flame.
The film Flame, it was good and bad for us. I mean, when I didn't like that camera pointing at me, well, I wouldn't do, would I? In the state I was in at the time. And it was difficult for me to comprehend that we were making a film. But I think we all did a really good acting job in it. And also I was very proud of the first song I ever wrote was How Does It Feel? And that was in the movie, and that was great. But when we saw the rushes, Don and I in particular, we were at the back of the viewing cinema, and Don said to me, "What do you think of this?" I said, "I think it's crap." And Don said, he said, "I'm fucking embarrassed as hell." He said, "This is a disaster." So, and we were really, Don and I in particular were really worried about it. Nod and Dave didn't seem to be bothered, they were just carrying on and loved being in front of the camera. But when we saw the final cut, and this is back to the question, there was a hell of a lot of it had been taken out, and a lot of slack had been removed. And it wasn't bad at all. So all I can say is that there wouldn't have been any footage left from the or funny footage or whatever. It would just have been scrapped. But I remember when the film came out, and we were doing Top of the Pops with How Does It Feel? And the producer of Top of the Pops, he got grey hair. His name was Robin Nash, and he got a dicky bow. That says it all, doesn't it? Anybody with a dicky bow? No, chaps, love it. And he said, we were on a stage about as high as this is. Paul and I are on now, and he walks up to us. We were rat-ass from the night before, from the premiere, and he'd been there as well. And he said, "Well, Slade, I saw your film last night, and as far as I'm concerned, you've made a mistake." And I said, "Why is that, Robin?" And he said, "Because everyone came to laugh at you, and they couldn't." Which is good in one way, but I think you've made a mistake for your fans. You should have done a Beatles type thing. And I said, "Well, we wanted to make something that showed what the music industry was like." And he said, "Well, we'll see." And in a way, he was right, because a lot of people thought that Flame were us and we were going to split up in the same way. But, footage-wise now, there is none of that around anymore. But the strange thing is, in a way, Flame looks better now than it did back then. Oh, I'm glad you agree.
It's a great film that's grown a massive cult following. People appreciate it more now than maybe they did then.
Yeah, and there's this guy named the BBC film commentator, Mark Kermode. I don't know if you've heard of him. And I was talking to a guy who was interviewing me for Mojo magazine, and we were walking down the street, and he knows Mark Kermode, and I said about, Mark Kermode thinks it's the best rock film ever made. He said he's always bullshitting about it and bullying it up. He said, and the thing is, when people see it, they think, well, is that it? He just goes too far. I said, well, it's good for him to say that it's the best rock film ever made. He says, no, he says it's the best film ever made. I went, oh dear.